started this, how many frats would come, I would have said not. But now it's like all frats and bachelor party. Showtime. We're gonna go nuts in there.
I like it.
Oh, me likey. Too Much Dip live streams Thursday. I'm Dave, and I'm gonna kick this off. And I made a promise on Twitter, and I'm a man of my word. I said I was going to drink exactly one Guinness Stout, and I'll be damned. I'm not drinking one Guinness Stout right now. Hold on. God, that's stout. Extra stout.
I'll represent for the Midwest.
I have exactly one Samuel Smith's Nut Brown Ale in my fridge, but this is the week of no alcohol for me, so I'm going to save it for a rainy day. The week, not the weekend. That ends. I'm just saying for right now.
I respect it. No nut weekday November.
I went
Brown
real hard
ale,
over
that
Thanksgiving, man. I probably drank a little too much over Thanksgiving, so I'm just hitting a little reset.
You went hard on not nutting or drinking?
On drinking. On drinking.
Okay.
It was Thanksgiving. It calls for it. Not
hey, man,
nutting,
it's the
though.
holidays. We got a lot to be thankful for, man.
That's true, Dave.
It's busy. I feel like it's rare that we get to do this on a Cowboys pre-game, like Thursday night situation. If anything, I say that just to call attention to the level of commitment of the show. We could have easily been like, you know what? Not a holiday, but it is Cowboys night. We'll catch y'all for Packers, Browns next week or some bullshit. But no, here you are, respecting the game, and maybe, just maybe, okay, I love it. Maybe just maybe the last episode with David Carter Ruff as a father of one single child.
Yeah. Thank you for knowing that first and foremost. I was like, I can't miss a Cowboy live stream, and I think it would be best that we just don't have a guest. We just let the boys do what we do best, and it's just get on here, mix it up, and yeah, like I am at this time next week, I will maybe have a second child. So yeah, fraternity leave will start next week at some time for me, in theory, and so I'll probably miss the following stream. Alyssa, I don't know how it's going to go over if I say, babe, I can't. We got Panthers Colts Thursday Night Football. I got to be there. I don't know what game it is. Probably not Panthers Colts.
You should probably go ahead and you probably join your wife at the hospital. It's probably the best move for you there.
Yeah, I think
I don't know why Panthers Colts sounds like more practical than a Browns Packers, which both of us with just terrible pools on like potential late season games. Okay. You want to go through this rundown before we pull up these games?
Damn, Josh.
No, if I'm being honest, and look, I'm fair about the tree rating system. All right, I will rate your tree. I'll also rate my own, and a 6.9 is about where I'm coming in this year. It's a subpar tree for me. I had to buy a new one. The one that arrived in the mail, not quite what I was expecting, but it's got the ornaments. The lights they change. I can't get them to chill out. There's different settings. I don't even know how to work the damn thing. 6.9 is fine.
Some might say it's nice.
It's good, Dave. That's good.
Summer of Worth. Cool. I love it.
We're edgy, man. We're on YouTube. We don't care, man.
I'm glad that you put this on here. As little as I was online last 36 hours as I've been dialed into all of the NBC coverage of the Hero World Championship, just waiting on some more Tofi coverage. I did see the internet was not too thrilled about the Sportsman of the Year and the Big 12 Coach of the Year announcements.
Yeah, respectively, Sportsman of the Year, SI Sportsman of the Year, to be clear.
SI's non-AI Sportsman of the Year.
I call him AI now.
Oh yeah.
It's Dion. It's Prime. It's Coach Prime. Okay. 4-win team, famously. And then you have the Big 12 Coach of the Year, which was
Gundy.
Gundy. A lot of people were saying, "Hey, man, that's not. They're just doing a big pity party, big salty fu to Texas on their way out." It's definitely Sark. It's definitely Sark, who preseason number 7, University of Texas, correct?
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that. I mean, I don't have a huge problem with it. I mean, Sark, obviously, he went from 5-7 to 8-4 to 11-1, which is really impressive. I think what you're seeing is entirely based on like expectations from the preseason, right? I mean, Sark met expectations, and Gundy, I think, far exceeded expectations. They had a ton of just talent turnover. Like that roster was completely turned over, I think. So pretty impressive. And they had a potential Doak Walker Award winner emerge on that team. So I get it. I mean, I think Sark is extremely deserving of the award, but I do see why Mike Gundy was chosen, even if I wish it were Sark.
That's a very grown-up, level-headed response.
I think so too, Dave. Thank you.
KJ, you were champing at the bit. You were pissed off.
I was only because I need to confirm one quick thing here of the current record for your West Virginia Mountaineers. They sit at 8-4 on the year, not 9-3, not in the Big 12 title game, but glancing briefly at the Big 12 preseason rankings, Oklahoma State was picked to finish 7th out of 14, whereas West Virginia was picked to finish dead last. Again, this is not an original opinion, but I do think, hey, the logic does clear. I don't think there's anything wrong with like lauding Ollie Gordon as maybe even player of the year in the conference, given the injury to running
Jonathan
back whose
Brooks.
name, there you go. Jonathan Brooks. And we also had Quinn out for a few games. So like Ollie Gordon didn't have a decent first game or two. He still could win the award, but I feel like there's the opportunity to heap the praise on like what that team's done. Having not watched a ton of them up until the BYU game, it's very clear. His impact is what's led to them being there. Not that Mike Gundy like woke up and found a way to use this weapon or anything like that. No,
No.
get him the ball.
KJ, that's where you're. See, here's the thing. Mike Gundy, famously not woke.
It's true.
You can't get more unwoke.
Fair. I mean, again, but either way, having said all that, even if logic doesn't clear, didn't care who. I couldn't tell you the Big 12 Coach of the Year was last year. I won't care that it was Gundy.
Probably
Saturday.
Dykes, if I had to guess.
Probably Dykes. That makes complete sense. And nobody would have argued with it. But the Sportsman of the Year.
Hey,
You were saying this was a little bit of a EEOC type. What were you saying earlier?
I didn't say
Like a
EEOC.
DEI? Like, well, I can't remember. You said it's a progressive decision. I didn't know what you meant by that. You want to expand on that?
I didn't know this. I guess I don't read Sports Illustrated enough anymore. I didn't realize they gave out such an award. Does this Sportsman of the Year, is this across all sports? I assume so.
You got to think.
Oh, is this sports person? Is this the Caitlin Clark Award, or was that the ESPY's one? That Caitlin, not Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Jenner. That was ESPY's, correct? Not Sports Illustrated.
That was the SPs.
I got some thoughts on Prime winning.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, obviously, from 1 win to 4, like that's something. But I mean, sold out every home game this season, which I think that's like the first time in school history or something ridiculous like that. Got the university a lot of pub, obviously. Had big names showing up to games and all that. But the shine has worn off. I mean, you got players are decommitting. He threw his entire offensive line under the bus, which I think is a terrible look for a head coach. I get it. I mean, I guess he is deserving because he did a lot for the school and he made a lot of headlines and whatnot. But he's really rubbed me the wrong way. How he's gone about his business the last, the second half of the season, and they stink now. Like they're not a good football team.
Yeah.
So
I can give you the most recent winners if we care to know. You're really gonna hate from a few years ago.
Was it Henry Kissinger?
Might as well. Not quite. Steph Curry last year. Tom Brady the year before.
Yeah,
2020's the activist athlete was the winner of 2020, including Naomi Osaka, LeBron James, Pat Mahomes, Breonna Stewart from WNBA. And then the offensive lineman who was also completed med school, worked in Canada during the football season to work on like a COVID vaccine. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, I think he was a chief lineman. Prior to that, Megan Rapinoe, and then again, Golden State Warriors. So all of that to say, this is very bubblegum. I don't care if it was Dion. You can have it. Like, this is arguing over who's on the Forbes 30 under 30.
It doesn't affect our lives, but
and like you said, I didn't know this award was a thing. So it's no skin off my back at all.
So they gave an award to a Canadian doctor. You know they have socialized medical care.
I was hoping you were leaning into that because it sounded like that just slipped out. I was like, wait, is David from Texas?
I code switched. I went from suburb Dallas Dave to West Texas Dave.
That was East Texas, I think. A little more questionable.
A little more east. Okay.
Let's pick one of the following three and then just hop into the pick so we stay on time here.
Can I give a shout out to our good friends at DraftKings?
Oh, how about yes? I'm just looking at the list. Go ahead.
Because I mean, like, guys, it's the holidays. We got so much to be thankful for: family, friends, food, and NFL football. How about that? All season long, DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping us full of action. New customers can bet just $5 on the NFL to score 150 instantly in bonus bets. No matter your appetite, there's something for you: money lines, parlays, props, live bets, and so much more. You name it, they've got it. I'm all over the Cowboys tonight. If it was Cowboys laying 20.5, I'd be on it, but it's not. I think it was at 9.5, 10.5. I don't know what we got it at, but I'm on the boys.
9.5.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code WASHED. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL action to score 150 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL with code WASHED. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In West Virginia, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, must be 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. Oh, I'm on one, y'all.
Quick,
Hell yeah, Dave.
to move forward with that, but yeah, I'll confirm that is at 9.5 currently to those who were doubting, and also say that to those who didn't think he could. Here, he did not follow the disclaimers. In fact,
Dave, right now.
Yeah, Jair.
there was a point. Yeah, I would imagine there's like maybe a silent chat. I don't know, but could be wrong. Who knows?
Either way,
there is a section.
People are just commenting on how you crush the read. That's just fantastic.
People are taking live. There's live bets. There's live bets on the read.
Oh, that's great.
I got lost in the section that started to sound like a Josh Giddey NDA regarding eligible districts and whatnot. But hey, we'll touch more on that Monday. We'll save it till smoke clears a little bit.
No
Thought about it.
No one's doing cocky sips mid disclaimer, Dave. My goodness.
Which Baylor tie do you want to go with here? Matt Rule in Nebraska talking about how much it costs to get a quarterback. Spavital, Jake Spavs, that is, returning to Texas.
We don't have to talk about.
And I don't
Spavs.
think we know anything more on Corey Perry unless I've missed it. But if you've got something, I'm open.
The only thing with Corey Perry, he issued a statement basically saying he's gonna. I don't know if he said rehab, but he's gonna work on his. He alluded to drinking and substance abuse, and he said he embarrassed himself, the organization. The rumors aren't true about Bedard's mom. But my question, and I think I put this to KJ in one of the group texts, are we going to find out what happened with Corey Perry before we find out what happened with Ime Udoka in Boston? Because Mavs were playing the Rockets the other night, and I was like, oh, yeah, Ime Udoka, great coach. What?
I thought we found that whole story out. Am I wrong? I thought he was dating someone in the organization, the Celtics, like marketing director, something along those lines. She broke it off, and he basically continued to like leave long texts, voicemails, and like attempt some retaliatory situations. And yeah, it got ugly.
Okay.
I think that was the extent of it. Now,
Matt Barnes said,
I don't know.
hey, y'all. Matt Barnes said, hey, y'all, I heard about it. I know what happened. It's really bad. Can't tell y'all. So I don't know. Maybe you're right, KJ. I think that all checks out. It's not that important. Corey Perry, former Stars great, and the guy who still to this day owns the record at the Winter Classic for the longest walk of all time after being ejected from a game. I don't know if y'all remember that, but he was ejected in like the first 6 minutes of the Winter Classic at the Cotton Bowl. And the rink was in the middle, and like it was like a 70-yard walk to the tunnel. And he's just walking on ice skates, so he couldn't like fast walk or jog. It was just, it was bad.
couldn't even hitch a ride on like the Zamboni back to the locker room or anything.
But Matt Rule.
It does. I will. The only thing on that is I will say he was in the locker room with Montgomery, right? At some point, their timelines overlapped in Dallas, right?
Jim Montgomery, yes.
Correct. Gotta think there's some stories. Maybe next time we talk to Peter DJ, we ask about that, given their newfound love for Jim Montgomery and similar exits for the two of them. Okay. So Matt Rule said what, and it put up a bunch of headlines, which I kind of shrugged at, but
it probably wasn't that big of a deal. But Dylan and I know we talked about it, and Brett,
Yeah.
we were like, oh, he pulled back the curtain on how much what the bag's got to look like to get a good quarterback, which is obviously subjective. In the
he said a quarterback NIL day, or NIL dollars. He said $1 to $1.5 to $2 million. I think he said. I don't know how. That's probably not entirely accurate. I think he's like maybe being like, hey, alumni, like we need a pony up if you want to get some talent in here. I don't think it's that much. Maybe for like a top of the top. I mean, Caleb Williams, he probably got over $1 million, right? I can't see anyone going for close to $2 million.
why am I
could be
blanking
right.
on the Texas quarterback that they struck out with there that went on wherever? Who went to Nebraska and struck out with them last year? What was that guy's name?
Oh, Casey Thompson.
Casey Thompson. Okay. Yeah, I would hope that nobody in Nebraska was dropping a half $1 million on Casey Thompson. No offense, of course, but
It's a good burn, JJ.
The whole thing still, like, I'll work on it this offseason to see if we can't identify a couple of recently graduated, time done in the NCAA athletes that are willing to kind of speak to some of the more intricate parts of it, have nothing to lose. Like, I don't want to talk to somebody who's coaching or still in the game who can't, speak too freely about it. Mike Roach can share with us quite a bit on the initial offers and likely on some of the transfer portal stuff. And he's done quite a bit of that in terms of the early negotiations, but the parts are still bewildering to me is like, what's the clawback, if any? Like, what's the hook in the terms with the money? If there are none, that's incredible. I love it. And then, what happens if that person transfers, doesn't start, doesn't pan out? And then how do you communicate what your ask is? Like, where does that, where's that market exist?
The tricky part is like
the
money doesn't come from the university.
Right.
So like coaches can't be like, all right, so what's it going to cost to get you to come here? So it's all like back channel dealing. It's really weird how it all works. I mean, it can't come, not a dollar can come from the university. That's just, I don't know. It's weird, but
do you think there's an Eric Dickerson clause that prevents you from getting the bag and just absolutely like not even stepping foot on campus? I'm thinking of what is it? What do you get? You get a
Trans
Camaro?
A&M.
Trans Am. Yeah.
I know there are clauses like if you get benched or if you get injured, it doesn't affect a single dollar that you're promised. Like you still
suspended,
and
that stuff changes things though, right?
I don't know. I assume so, but yeah, it has nothing to do with your performance. It's like once you have your deal locked in place, you're gonna get paid.
It's like
that's the real ED clause, if you know what I'm saying. All right. With all that said, let's go ahead.
No. That's really good.
You can't even use the word perform in front of you guys without you spinning it to something extremely horny like that. Like, come on.
The problem is I was working on that since the point he talked about Eric Dickerson. So, it was coming down the pipe anyway.
It was double layered for you, KJ.
It was great. It was great.
Hold on.
All
KJ,
right.
KJ just texted me something. Let me see. Normally.
Is it a picture of the Dwayne Wade and LeBron? alley-oop?
Says she called me Eric the way I dick her, son.
God.
What the hell, KJ?
That's good.
There's a comma. The
comma, yeah.
Comma's doing a lot of work.
Go.
Gosh. Okay. That's enough. Let's just get these. I've had my one shit post of the day, and it was just a tweet at NBC Sports or whatever. So I've got no more in the hopper for today.
Can I real quick?
Go ahead.
Sorry, Dylan. When I was getting the tweet set up to like promote the show, I saw you had a tweet earlier, and I was reading it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good tweet." And then I saw just the most. What I know bothered you more than anything, the typo.
The typo, I know. You know what's funny about that? I didn't notice it for like 2 hours, and then finally someone pointed it out, and then Kayla had to come just dunk on me a few hours ago, pointing out my typo. Like, all right, I see it.
I saw Kayla did not get your back, friend of the show.
No.
She actually did the opposite of get your back. She just kind of pointed it out, and
I know. Hey, but to hit triple-digit likes on a glaring typo tweet, not terrible.
We've all been there.
I will say the Kayla part of the experience definitely, made me go back and re-like the tweet. I was like, oh, this is good. And I was like, you know what? This whole experience is enhanced by her commentary.
Real shame.
All right. Let's quickly run through these games as them boys are going to play. And Dave says he has to go order at Mike Miller Barbecue or whatever that terrible place is called.
Bill Miller? No one eats
Bill
there.
Miller.
Everybody on
They're not even open
diarrhea
anymore.
there. Yeah, somebody got diarrhea on next door there one time.
The worst thing I've ever walked into when I lived where Brett used to live. And I was like, oh, whatever. I'm in Austin. I'll go check this out. I walked in fully Abe Simpson, walked right the hell out. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with tonight's game before it kicks off. We've all picked the Cowboys, who, when we picked, were favored at 9, rather 9.5 either way. I think the Seahawks are legit. I also think this is the type of game where the Cowboys have not won by a little yet. Either they win by a lot or they lose to the Pastronaut.
They did lose to the Pastronaut, but they're also an undefeated. They're sick at home. They blow everybody out at home. I don't think tonight's any different.
Fair enough. Now, where I guess most of the attention should be spent. Actually, let's not get all of NFL and we'll go back to college. Later this weekend, we get Eagles, Niners, Philly, 3-point dogs at home. I'm the only person confident in Philly. It's probably recency bias. They haven't won anything like in like a not dramatic. That's complete opposite. Like they haven't destroyed anybody. That's been great, but they've found ways to win. I'm going to keep riding that horse until otherwise said. Jalen Hurts turns out to be a good quarterback.
Niners are healthy, and when they're healthy, I just think they're the best team in football. So, yeah, Eagles keep winning, but they're not playing as well as they can play, which is a compliment to them. That's a damn good team too.
I am gonna post the Jesse Pinkman.gif. They can't keep getting away with this because they gotta fucking lose one of these games.
But I think what'll happen is they'll win all of these and they'll lose to like the Panthers next week or some shit, or whoever they play right after this stretch. Or I guess it's the Cowboys, huh? Like a week or two after.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what'll happen is they'll win these ridiculous streak of games and they'll turn around and screw it all up because they've had Chiefs, Bills, and then Niners back to back to back.
Yeah, it's pretty insane run.
And you knew these teams were good going into the season, and I can't believe they stuck that, And then the Cowboys, 4 out of 5 weeks. I can't believe they stuck them with that. But anyways, Chiefs at Packers. I believe this is Sunday Night Football. Chiefs favored by 6 on the road. David, you're on the Packers.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's just like something distracting that Chiefs team. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just like what? I don't know if it's just like them like making Jackson take a back seat. It's just there's something's going on in Kansas City to where I still think they're going to be a player come late December, January, but there's something going on there. And you know what? I'm a Jordan Love fan.
Fair.
I call him
He stinks. He stinks. The Packers stink.
I will say this. I haven't been impressed too much with the local sports media talk or whatever for having such a huge franchise like the Packers. People are unquestionably passionate about the Packers. They talk about it all the time. Local news, no different than the Cowboys. But there has been a consistent thread over the last week of Aaron Rodgers' first 11 games as a starter. Here's his stats. Guess who else's stats are these numbers? Jordan Love. Like they're obsessed with like trying to make themselves fall in love with Jordan Love and convincing themselves, okay, he's not that bad. We'll be okay, guys. Ignore the record. His stats are great. But whatever. Monday, we'll dive more into potential Rodgers return because that's going to blow my mind if it comes to pass. Okay. College Football Conference Championship Week. Anything, I guess, let's quickly run through these. Anything strong to say about Washington, Oregon? I only went with Washington about the points. I still think Oregon's a fucking tank, but 9.5's a lot.
A massive spread. I don't see how they came up with that. Washington, I know they've been kind of just getting by. It's a really good football team still. And Oregon hasn't really played, like their schedule has been pretty poor. Like they're putting up an impressive offensive display, right? They're blowing teams out. And they lost to Didn't they not lose to Washington already this year?
Correct.
They did.
I just don't get it.
2 times this year, he's like nudged Texas Tech by saying Washington or Oregon hadn't played anybody, and then pointed out Oklahoma hadn't played anybody earlier in the year too when it was SMU. Yeah. But I respect it because you were right on both accounts. Oklahoma State, Texas. Texas is favored by 14.5. Again, the points is why I went with this, only because Oklahoma State is going to get run. I also think the fact that they're going to lean on Ollie Gordon is going to at least maybe reduce the number of times they're going to get embarrassed in this game because BYU was very, very easily in control of that game if it wasn't pissing rain and snowing.
Texas for 2 reasons. They're like you said, Oklahoma State it's all about Ollie Gordon. Texas is really good against the run. Secondly, I think they're going to do everything they can to put style points up on Oklahoma State. I'm pretty confident Texas wins the game. And if they can do anything to try and sway the playoff committee to their way, they're going to do it. So
extreme around the horn voice. Yeah, Texas is really good against the run, but Texas is not really good against Gundy. 6 of 8, 9 of the last 13. So
Big
yes, I
12
did
coach
pick
of the year.
Big
Mike
12
Gundy.
coach of the year. Mike Gundy has absolutely dominated Texas the last 13 years. That being said, this should not be close. And if it is, I will be a little surprised. But for the reasoning that KJ outlined, it could be, and it wouldn't shock me because Ollie Gordon's badass. But Texas should not. If Texas loses this game, I will be absolutely shocked. That will be the biggest shocker of any potential loss on this.
I will
bowl
cry.
here.
I will cry.
You should cry. I would cry too. Okie State's running
Didn't
out Bowman.
They got blown out by UCF, right? By like 40 points.
South Florida.
South Florida. Okay.
No, it was UCF. It was
Both of
UCF.
them, but both of them beat them.
Oh.
They lost to South, or I'm sorry, no, South Alabama.
South
And-
Alabama. Yeah, that's
and
right.
UCF. I'm sorry.
What a weird
South
team.
Florida
I-
would have been respectable.
I can't figure out who they are. It's weird.
It is one of the more bizarre teams, but
Georgia, Alabama. I think I meant to pick Bama here. I don't know. I can't recall. Who else feels strong about this? I have nothing.
I don't have a good feel for this game. I think these are probably the two best teams in the country right now. The way they're playing, the way Alabama's playing. I don't know. I have no feel for this game whatsoever. Georgia just looks unstoppable. That's why I picked them.
I only picked Alabama because it's just more of a hopeful pick. I have nothing that tells me I've been pulling for Jalen Milroe ever since he looked like shit early in the season. So whatever. Here we are.
I think it'll be interesting. You know, we're not talking too much about eventualities, but like the way people are rooting for, hey, a one-loss team should not be in if they're, like Georgia shouldn't be in it if they lose. And then some people might also like lobby for Bama not to be in it if you've got 4 undefeated conference championships. Like there's no way SEC is getting locked out, but we'll see. SMU at Tulane. I'll just quickly say it didn't matter. I'm going to ride with SMU. Not going to honestly say I feel great about it. Not going to go put a bunch of units on it. Broken leg for the quarterback. But, it is in New Orleans too. Dylan's on Tulane.
I don't have a good reason for it. I think I just wanted to go against you, KJ. So,
Fair.
I picked SMU because Tulane's they're like I'm wondering I'm doing the classic there's some rumors about their coach.
Fair.
Money.
Fair. Some distractions.
That's it. Distraction play. It's a distraction play, and I like SMU.
We'll wrap it up quickly. Let's do Louisville Florida State. Florida State's favored at 2.5 at home with their backup quarterback. I'm on Louisville. Rodemaker didn't wow me.
this is wishful thinking for me. This is Texas. That's how they punch their ticket to the college football playoff if they take care of business Saturday. That is, I need a Louisville dub real bad. So come on, Rodemaker, you stink. Get out of here. Please take the L.
Rodemaker in his second start, I think he's going to look a lot more poised. I think Florida State comes out. I think they did I pick Florida State? I didn't even look at the thing.
You did.
Yeah.
Now I've convinced myself. I'm the only one on Florida State. Damn,
Yeah.
look at y'all. This could go either way. This is a toss-up, but I think Florida State does it.
As the 2.5 point spread might imply. But let's wrap it up with the Big Ten
Unnecessary
title
shot.
game that everyone's looking forward to, the nighttime game on Saturday. Iowa getting 24 points in Indianapolis versus Michigan with Jim Harbaugh back from suspension. 24 is a lot. I'm on Iowa.
Yeah, poor Iowa. I'm more interested in the next one we have on there, which is the over under 0.5 team touchdowns. So they surely can keep within 24 points here. Surely. It's a conference championship game.
I said that Texas losing to OSU, Okie State, would be the most insane upset on here. If Michigan were to fuck around and lose to Iowa, that would actually be the most insane upset on here, I think. But talk about distractions. Lots of chatter about Harbaugh maybe going to the NFL Bears. I don't know, man. I don't know. And if Michigan loses, is Michigan actually better without Harbaugh? There's just a lot of things in play. That
It's
being
silly
said, I
to-
did choose Mexican.
He's back, right, for this game?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's silly that would even be like a storyline right now, given the timeline. Like, NFL teams won't start poaching coaches until after college football's done. But I agree.
I think it's all Big Cat, Barstool Big Cat. I think he created this entire thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And as Dylan mentioned, basically even money on whether or not Iowa would score a touchdown, not even an offensive touchdown.
Could be defensive, special teams,
Anything.
anything.
Go to DraftKings, look up this bet. It might have moved a bit, but probably not much. That seems like a valuable use of some units.
One touchdown.
We're all on over of 0.5, but we don't know what they know sometimes. Anything else before we discharge Dave to dad duty?
I'm about to go watch some Perfect Dudes watch along with the Cowboys game, man. So we got Dude Perfect on the screen tonight. Can't wait.
Man, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty tied up. My son went to he was in Vegas last weekend for the Chiefs Raiders game, and he got caught up. He was wearing I'm just kidding. No, I'm done.
But hey, if you just ignore the headdress, everybody else is doing it, so it's okay. All right. Thank you, David. Best of luck with the next few days. We will see you Monday. Till then, go Hawks.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip.
I had to think who they were playing.
Dips.